गरीब साध साध सब नेक हैं, आप अपनी ठोरे। जो सतलोक ले जाएंगे वो साधु कोई और।
Now it is told that
वेद मेरा भेद है और मैं ना वेदन के माही, जौन वेद से मैं मिलूं ये वेद जानते नहीं।
it has been said in verse 32 of Gita Ji chapter 4 that the speech of God, that God spoke from his lotus mouth in Sachidanand Ghan Brahm, means Paramakshar Brahm has spoken the speech from his mouth. In that information about these religious rituals has been given in detail. It has been told in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the 34th verse of the 4th chapter. This Kal, the knowledge giver of Gita, is speaking after entering in Sri Krishna Ji. Entering in him is speaking. That is Tattva Gyan. You understand that knowledge by going to the enlightened saint, by prostrating them, by leaving deceit, serving and pleasing them, and questioning them politely. That Tattvadarshi Sant will provide you the knowledge of the Supreme Being, which even the knowledge giver of Gita does not know. That is the true spiritual knowledge. That is in the speech of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm has been uttered from the mouth of Sachidanand Ghan Brahm. That is the same God has come and told us this truth, that who are you? Where have you come from? Who is God? What practice do you do? The glory of that God, like you read in the first mantra in Rigved Mandal 10, Sukt 49, Vedas, God says, complete Brahma says that I created this Brahma. Later Brahma further glorified me because God had fed the 5 Vedas inside Brahma. Just as the entire matter, the entire film is transferred from one mobile to another, in the same way, God had faxed the 5 Vedas into his mind from there. Then as the time came, according to the rule of God, all of them automatically came out and appeared through his breaths from inside him. Now 50 years from today, 20 years and 40 years ago, the servant would have told that God sent these 4 Vedas in his computer inside Kal, and then when the time came, according to his orders, God did such a process that it automatically came out from his breath. You wouldn't have believed, but now you will believe all, because today the technique which you are seeing, you may download as much from anywhere. There is a small chip, this small, and how much matter is filled inside it. It may be fit anywhere and then is put, and you may download as much, fill the pages after pages and prepare the bundle. This had happened. When he saw it was downloaded from his computer and he read, there was complete information. In the 5th Veda, Sukshma Ved, the way of worship was also there. He destroyed it immediately, hid them. And in the other 4, there is glory of God, but he could not destroy them. There is glory in them, but not the way of worship. It is not possible for the living beings to understand these Vedas, whether it is Brahma, Vishnu, whether it is Shiv. They also could not understand the Vedas. God himself comes and explains those scriptures written by him properly. God spoke the decisive knowledge of the Vedas in his voice. Sachidanand Ghan Brahm speech, Kabir Vani. Now after understanding that speech, we opened the Vedas and the Vedas became completely clear. Because it is spiritual knowledge. It cannot be explained by those who only know Sanskrit language, cannot translate it. Like someone learned Hindi, a foreigner. He may become good in Hindi and has become a Shastri, and he does not know Ramayana. He does not know the story of Ramayana. And if someone tells him that you translate these verses written by Tulsidas, then he will do rubbish, even if he is a scholar. So, in the same way, the scholars of Sanskrit language, a scholar is the one who is omniscient. Only God Kabir is omniscient, and was the knower of all the languages, knew complete spiritual knowledge, and he was called ignorant by these fake scholars. Knowing Sanskrit does not make one a scholar. Knowing a language does not make one scholar. It is okay. He knows that language, he is the master, that's all. They could not understand true spiritual knowledge, because of which they did their wrong meaning. Now that God himself comes, from there he tells correctly about the creation of the universe created. By him, he comes and provides the exact knowledge. He explains that knowledge. He comes walking like human beings, virtuous souls, this God Kal, through these ignorant sages, Maharishis, saints, gurus, Brahmans. The meaning of Brahman here is not by caste. This should be understood because we react and don't listen to the knowledge. The meaning of Brahman is one who is in the possession of Guru. He is a Brahman, the one who provides the knowledge, the knower of God. Brahman, soi jo Brahma pehchane. Brahman is called the one who has known God, but they did not know and were used to be called Brahmins. They were not sages, Maharishis, but were used to be called sages, Maharishis. Today they are called Maharishi, but are not worthy of calling Maharishi. They are called Brahman, but were not worthy of being called Brahman. As my Gurudev was a Brahman according to the caste in Haryana, in village Paintavas, near Dadri, Big Paintavas, district Bhiwani. He was the resident of that village Big Paintavas and was a Brahman by caste, but he does not call himself a Brahman. He used to say Sant Ramdevanand. He was a saint, and my Guru, grandfather, my Guruji's Guruji, he was from Chhavla village in Delhi near Najafgarh towards Gurgaon. Chhavla is on road. He was a Jat farmer from Chhavla village. He studied from Kashi Vidyapeeth and became the scholar of 4 subjects. He was called Pandit Chitanand. He was called Brahman. The ashram of our Guru grandfather is built in Gopalpur village near Kharkhoda in the district Sonipat. It has been written in their ashram, Pandit Chitanand Ji's ashram. And where there are ashram of our Gurudev, Sant Ramdevanand Ji's ashram. So here Brahman is not said because of caste, but because of the deed. So these fake Guru Brahmins who were at that post did not even know the ABC and were called sages and great sages. They could not understand that nectar speech of God. That is why God has said,
वेद कतेब झूठे नहीं भाई और झूठे हैं जो समझे नाही.
It has been written in Vedas that God himself comes with speed. Like in Arya Samaj group, there are many educated people, but they have literal knowledge, not spiritual knowledge. Even Maharishi Dayanand also does not know ABC of spiritual knowledge. That's why he only tried to translate the Vedas. He had his own principle that God is formless and does not live at one place. One country means does not live in one place. He is omnipresent, just like air. The same is God. Well, gentlemen, how can formless God make such big structures? Like someone may say that how can one with form make? Listen, how one having form will make it? An engineer is in form and has made a ship, made an airplane and made this aeroplane. Made a ship is sitting in it and moving comfortably and the plane is moving. Let a formless craftsman make it after death. Damn, will he be able to make it? Like this, God is in human form. He is highly radiant. There is no limit to his power. Everything happens with his words. As we see, there are magicians. They put such a small marble in their mouth. After a while, they do like this and make it a big stone which comes out of their mouths with such great difficulty. And they throw it like this. You can check it. When a magician can do so much, then that supreme magician, he is almighty. He can do anything in one word. In the same way, we must get aware with the glory of that God. It has been said that God has done everything. In one word, Sakal Zameen Asman, he created everything in one word. He is almighty and can do anything. He came and gave that information that they say God is formless. Vedas tell he is in form. He is in a human form. Virtuous souls. That is why God used to say,
मोती मुक्ता दर्शत नाही ये जग है सब अंदरे दिखत के तो नैन चश्म इनका फिरा मोतिया बिंदरे.
They seem to be learned men and were called Maharishis. They have cataracts. One who has cataracts in the eyes look healthy, everything would be visible, but is completely blind. One who has cataract in both eyes. God says to you, they look like Maharishis, Guru Brahmans, these Mandaleshwars, but they have cataracts. They do not know the truth written in their scriptures, and then they say God is formless.
आप सुन रहे थे जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन. अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org. संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है. अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र का पता करने के लिए संपर्क करें 8222880541.